Las Vegas has always called itself the entertainment capital of the world, a neon playground where millions of tourists flock each year, chasing luxury excitement and unforgettable nights. But here's the shocking truth. Canadians, once some of the most loyal visitors to Sin City, are now turning their backs. For decades, hopping on a quick flight from Toronto or Vancouver meant escaping the cold and landing in a desert oasis of casinos, buffets, shows, and nightlife. But in 2025, more and more Canadians are saying the same thing: Vegas isn't worth it anymore. They're fed up, frustrated, and telling their friends not to waste the trip. What changed? Why are people who once couldn't wait to visit now warning others to stay away? The answers expose something Vegas doesn't want you to know. From sky-high prices and hidden resort fees, to an experience that feels hollow compared to the past, to growing concerns over crime on the Strip, to travel nightmares at the airport, and even better alternatives closer to home, these aren't minor complaints. They're deal breakers, and they're driving Canadians away in record numbers. So today, we're breaking down the 5 big reasons why Canadians are fed up with Las Vegas tourism, and why their frustration could be the warning sign that the city's glittering image is starting to crack. At the very top of the list, the #1 complaint from Canadian tourists is simple: Vegas has gotten too expensive. What used to be seen as an affordable playground has transformed into a city where every dollar feels squeezed. For years, visitors accepted the idea that they might lose money in the casinos that was part of the thrill. But what's changed in 2025 is that Canadians are losing money before they even get to the tables. The biggest shock for many is the rise of hotel prices. A mid-tier room that used to cost around $99 a night can now easily top $250 or even $300, and that's before taxes and fees. The infamous resort fees have become a symbol of Vegas greed. Hotels charge anywhere from $30 to $60 per night for things like Wi-Fi gym access or a daily newspaper perks that most guests never use or that used to be included for free. Canadians see these charges as hidden traps, a way for Vegas hotels to advertise one price and then quietly inflate it once you're locked in. It doesn't stop with hotels. Show tickets, once a highlight of any Vegas trip, have skyrocketed. A Cirque du Soleil ticket that used to be under $100 can now push $200 to $300 per seat, especially after convenience fees and service charges are added. Canadians who are already converting from the Canadian dollar to US dollars feel that sting even more. What might feel overpriced for an American tourist feels downright impossible for someone paying with a weaker currency. The same frustration is hitting restaurants and buffets. The legendary Vegas buffet, once a symbol of value, is no longer cheap. Prices that hovered around $25 to $30 per person are now $50, $60, or even higher, and many buffets have cut back on the variety of food offered. For Canadians who may already be spending thousands on flights, hotels, and transportation, the idea of paying that much for a single meal feels insulting. Even in the casinos, the games themselves feel rigged against players more than ever. Table minimums have gone up, sometimes starting at $25 a hand for blackjack, and slot machines are tighter than ever. Many Canadians remember when you could gamble for hours with a modest budget and still have fun. Now money disappears in minutes, and the excitement feels replaced with frustration. One Canadian travel blogger summed it up bluntly: Vegas isn't fun anymore, it's just expensive. That comment echoes across social media, where Canadian tourists swap horror stories about outrageous bills, surprise charges, and a sense that Vegas has lost touch with ordinary visitors. The impact is bigger than just complaints. When Canadians feel that they're being ripped off, they start to look elsewhere. The cost of a week in Vegas can be compared with a week at an all-inclusive resort in Mexico or Cuba, where everything, flights, hotels, meals, and drinks, are included for less money than just hotel and food in Vegas. For many, it's an easy choice, and that's the core of reason #1. The soaring prices and hidden fees aren't just inconveniences, they've turned Vegas from a fun escape into a financial burden. For Canadians who once saw Vegas as their go-to getaway, the city now feels like a trap, and that's a deal breaker that's driving them away faster than ever. The second reason Canadians are fed up with Las Vegas tourism is that the experience itself no longer feels magical. For decades, Vegas was sold as a once-in-a-lifetime escape, a place where you could be anyone, do anything, and live out the wildest version of yourself. But in 2025, many Canadians say the city feels hollow, stripped of the charm and excitement that made it world famous. Let's start with the shows. Once upon a time, you could grab a last-minute ticket to a spectacular Cirque du Soleil performance, or a headliner like Celine Dion or Elton John, and feel you were part of something unforgettable. Today, Canadians complain that the shows are fewer, more expensive, and less impressive. Some productions have shut down entirely, while others have cut back on cast members and staging to save money. Instead of dazzling audiences, many shows now feel like watered-down versions of what they used to be. Then there are the buffets. The legendary Vegas buffet was once a rite of passage, a place where you could feast on crab legs, prime rib, and endless desserts for a fair price. But now many of those buffets have either closed or scaled back dramatically. Canadians returning in 2025 often say the food options are smaller, the quality is worse, and the price tags are higher. What used to feel like a deal now feels like a scam. The casinos themselves are another sore point. Many Canadian visitors remember when you could sit at a slot machine for hours, enjoying free drinks and entertainment while stretching a modest budget. But now those perks have all but vanished. Complimentary drinks are harder to come by, and servers only appear if you're betting big. The slots are tighter, table minimums are higher, and the overall vibe feels less like a party and more like a transaction. For Canadians who flew thousands of miles to be entertained, it feels like they're just being drained. Even the nightlife isn't the same. Vegas clubs were once the epicenter of glamour, where Canadians could dance the night away surrounded by celebrities and world-class DJs. Today, many clubs charge outrageous cover fees, long lines stretch down the block, and the crowds feel less glamorous and more chaotic. What was once a unique bucket list experience now feels like an overpriced hassle. Another part of the decline is the lack of originality. Canadians point out that much of the Vegas Strip has become a cookie-cutter chain experience. The same restaurants, the same stores, the same branding you'd find in any North American city. Gone is the sense of wonder that Vegas used to inspire with its extravagant themes like the pirate battles at Treasure Island or the whimsical charm of old-school Vegas. Instead, it feels corporate, sterile, and uninspired. Social media makes this even worse. Canadians scrolling through Instagram or TikTok see the same staged photos of neon lights, the Bellagio fountains, and overpriced cocktails over and over again. The uniqueness of the Vegas trip has disappeared, replaced by a predictable itinerary that feels less like an adventure and more like a marketing package. At its heart, this is the tragedy of reason number 2. Canadians don't just want to spend money, they want to feel like they're getting an experience worth remembering. But when the shows are smaller, the buffets are weaker, the casinos are greedier, and the nightlife feels generic, that magic disappears. And when the magic is gone, so is the reason to return. The third reason why Canadians are walking away from Las Vegas tourism is one that strikes at the heart of every trip: safety. Vegas has always marketed itself as a city where anything goes, but that sense of carefree adventure is starting to feel dangerous. In 2025, Canadians are voicing louder concerns about crime scams and personal security on the Strip. Let's begin with the Las Vegas Strip itself. By day, it's crowded but manageable. By night, many Canadians say it feels like a completely different world. Reports of pickpocketing scams, aggressive street hustlers, and even violent assaults have made headlines. For visitors from Canada, where urban crime rates are often lower and public spaces feel safer, this change is unsettling. They don't come to Vegas to constantly look over their shoulders. One Canadian tourist recently shared her experience. She was approached multiple times in a single evening by people pushing fake VIP passes, counterfeit tickets, and even free photos that turned into demands for cash. Stories like these are circulating widely on social media, painting Vegas less as a fun escape and more as a trap for the unwary. Then there are the more serious incidents. In 2023 and 2024, several highly publicized stabbings and shootings occurred on or near the Strip. While officials insist these are isolated events, Canadians say the perception of danger is what matters. A family choosing between Vegas and a Caribbean resort doesn't want to risk walking past flashing police lights on vacation. Even the casinos once considered safe havens aren't immune. Stories of card shuffling scams, rigged taxi routes, and hotel room thefts circulate online. Canadians already stretched by high prices feel doubly insulted when they also have to worry about being taken advantage of. In their eyes, Vegas has blurred the line between fun risk at the tables and real risk on the streets. The problem extends beyond crime to homelessness and drug use. Canadians report that in recent years, the Strip has seen a visible rise in people sleeping on sidewalks, openly using substances, or aggressively asking tourists for money. While homelessness is not unique to Vegas, its presence in the heart of a billion-dollar tourist district leaves visitors feeling unsafe and uneasy. Another major concern is rideshare and transportation scams. Canadians have complained about being charged inflated flat rates by shady drivers or being taken on long routes to drive up fares. What might be brushed off as a minor annoyance in another city feels like a betrayal in Vegas, where trust is already running thin. Statistics back up some of these fears. According to Las Vegas Metro Police, crime on the Strip saw a noticeable uptick in 2022 and 2023, particularly in categories like theft and assault. While city officials are working to increase police presence, Canadians say perception lags behind reality. Once a destination gets a reputation for being unsafe, it's hard to shake. At the end of the day, Canadians don't expect Vegas to be perfect, but they do expect to feel safe. They want to walk down Las Vegas Boulevard at night and take photos without worrying about who's behind them. They want to enjoy a cocktail in a casino without guarding their purse like it's gold. And they want to trust that the city values their safety as much as their money. This is the essence of reason number 3. For many Canadians, the combination of rising crime scams, visible homelessness, and safety concerns has turned what was once an exhilarating destination into a stressful gamble. And if visiting Vegas feels more dangerous than fun, why go at all? The 4th reason Canadians are fed up with Las Vegas tourism has nothing to do with the Strip itself. It starts long before they even get there. Traveling from Canada to Vegas in 2025 has become a headache, filled with airline chaos, delays, cancellations, and skyrocketing costs. First, let's talk about the flights. For decades, one of Vegas's biggest advantages was how quick and affordable it was for Canadians to get there. A short flight from Toronto or Vancouver used to cost a few $100s. Today, those same flights can cost double or even triple, with prices soaring past $800 to $1,000 CAD during peak times. Add in baggage fees, seat selection charges, and other airline add-ons, and Canadians feel like they're being drained before they even step on the plane. And that's assuming the flight actually leaves on time. In the past 2 years, Canadian airports like Toronto Pearson and Montreal Trudeau have become infamous for delays and cancellations. Combine that with issues at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, and travelers are stuck in a nightmare of waiting in long lines, dealing with last-minute changes, and spending hours stranded at gates. Canadians have taken to social media to vent about entire vacations cut short because flights were cancelled or delayed by 12 to 24 hours. Then there's the chaos once they land in Las Vegas. Canadians describe arriving at the airport as overwhelming, long customs lines, baggage claim, delays, rideshare confusion, and expensive transportation to the Strip. A taxi ride that once cost $20 to $25 can now easily exceed $40 or $50, especially with traffic and route manipulation. For a family of 4, even basic ground transport becomes a major cost. On top of that, the airline experience itself has gotten worse. Seats or smaller service has been cut back, and Canadians complain that flying feels less like the start of a vacation and more like enduring a punishment. When the journey feels this exhausting, the destination has to really deliver, and as we've already seen with rising prices and a declining experience, Vegas often doesn't. Another pain point is the time commitment. For Canadians in cities like Calgary, Edmonton, or Winnipeg, getting to Vegas isn't a quick trip anymore. With fewer direct flights available in 2024 and 2025, many travelers face long layovers in Denver, Chicago, or Dallas just to get to Nevada. What used to be a 3 to 4 hour trip now easily stretches into 8 to 10 hours for a weekend getaway that's no longer worth it. And let's not forget about exchange rates. Canadians are already paying more just to buy US dollars. When combined with high airfare, unexpected cancellations, and expensive ground transport, the total cost of simply getting to Vegas feels like robbery. Many Canadians compare it with a package deal to Mexico or the Caribbean, where for the same price they can fly direct stay at an all-inclusive resort and avoid all the chaos of airlines and airports. In the end, this is reason number 4. Canadians are asking themselves a simple question. Why should I spend thousands of dollars, fight through airport chaos, sit through delays and pay inflated fares just to arrive in Vegas when I could go somewhere easier and cheaper? That calculation is pushing more and more people to skip Vegas altogether. The 5th and perhaps most damaging reason Canadians are fed up with Las Vegas tourism is that they've simply found better alternatives. In the past, Vegas sold itself as the ultimate getaway, a place that offered something you couldn't find anywhere else. But in 2025, Canadians are realizing that not only is Vegas more expensive and stressful, but there are destinations closer to home that offer more value, more relaxation, and sometimes even more excitement. One of the biggest draws is Mexico. All-inclusive resorts in Cancun, Cabo San Lucas, or Puerto Vallarta allow Canadians to pay one price for flights, hotels, meals, unlimited drinks, pools, and beaches. For the same money, or even less than a Vegas vacation, a Canadian couple can sip margaritas by the ocean instead of paying $20 for a cocktail on the Strip. The appeal is obvious: fewer hidden fees, more relaxation, and a true sense of being on vacation. Then there's Cuba. For Canadians, Cuba has long been a budget-friendly paradise. With direct flights from Toronto, Montreal, and other major cities, Canadians can escape to a sunny beach resort for a fraction of the cost of a Vegas trip. Even if the entertainment isn't as flashy, the overall value, sun, sand, unlimited food, and drinks makes Vegas look overpriced and overrated. Closer to home, Canadians are choosing domestic getaways instead. Niagara Falls has casinos, luxury hotels, and a nightlife scene that scratches the same itch as Vegas, but without international flights or exchange rate pain. Montreal and Toronto offer world-class restaurants, festivals, and entertainment, while Vancouver boasts stunning scenery alongside high-end dining and nightlife. These destinations may not have the neon glow of the Strip, but they provide a far less stressful and more affordable escape. Even within the US, Canadians are comparing Vegas to other destinations. Cities like Miami, New Orleans, Nashville, and New York offer unique culture, food, and nightlife without the same level of hidden costs. For many Canadians, it feels more rewarding to experience authentic culture rather than the increasingly corporate, manufactured vibe of Vegas. Social media plays a huge role here. Canadians see their friends posting photos from Caribbean beaches, European cities, or even ski trips in Whistler, and wonder why they would waste money on a destination that feels tired and overpriced. The comparison is stark. While one group enjoys unlimited cocktails by turquoise waters, another group complains about paying $300 a night for a Vegas hotel with a view of the parking lot. Another factor is the weaker Canadian dollar. Every US purchase feels more expensive, and Vegas in particular seems designed to maximize that pain. By contrast, traveling to Cuba or Mexico often means all-inclusive deals priced in Canadian dollars, making budgeting simple and transparent. Canadians don't have to worry about hidden fees, surprise charges, or getting nickel and dimed at every turn. And this is the essence of reason number 5. Vegas no longer has a monopoly on fun. Canadians have choices, and those choices often provide better value, better experiences, and fewer headaches. When travelers realize they can enjoy a week of all-inclusive luxury in Mexico, a cultural festival in Montreal, or a quick casino weekend at Niagara Falls for less than the cost of a stripped-down Vegas trip, the decision is easy. For Canadians in 2025, Vegas isn't the only option, it's becoming the worst option. And that shift is perhaps the clearest warning yet that the city's golden image is fading fast. So there you have it, 5 big reasons why Canadians are fed up with Las Vegas tourism. From the outrageous prices and hidden fees, to the decline of the Vegas experience, to growing safety concerns and crime, the endless airline chaos and travel hassles, and finally the rise of better alternatives closer to home, each reason chips away at the glittering image that once made Vegas the crown jewel of North American tourism. For decades, Canadians were some of Vegas's most reliable visitors, flying in by the millions and pouring billions into the city's hotels, casinos, and shows. But in 2025, that loyalty is breaking. More and more Canadians are saying Vegas isn't worth it anymore. And if one of Vegas's strongest tourist bases is walking away, what does that mean for the city's future? This isn't just about Canadians. Their frustration reflects a bigger problem. Vegas has lost touch with the average traveler. If the city keeps chasing profits at the expense of value, safety, and authenticity, it risks becoming a ghost of what it once was. The neon lights may still shine, but the trust of loyal tourists is flickering out. The question now is, if Canadians are giving up on Las Vegas, who's next? Could this be the first sign that Sin City's golden era is truly coming to an end? Tell us what you think. Is Vegas still worth the trip, or is it time to look elsewhere?